Hey folks, Handyman 406, my name's Kerry. I got a couple things I wanted to show you. First off, little chainsaw here, Ego. This is after 2 years of ownership. I don't run this thing like a rented meal like I usually do with the rest of my tools, but I've given it some use and I like it. I approve of it. You know, lots of power for electric saw, for a battery saw I should say. This thing's pretty good. One thing I want to mention, there's obviously, there's several different sizes of batteries you can get. This is the 5 amp hour. This came with the saw purchase. I wouldn't run this thing without the bigger battery. The smaller battery works okay in the chainsaw. This is what came with my weed eater. We're going to take a look at that in a second. This thing's got like a light on it. Oops, let's put a battery in there. It's kind of crazy. I've never seen a chainsaw with a light. I mean, and it's even got 2 brightness settings, which is, I guess it's cool. I don't know. Should you be sawing wood in the middle of the night? I don't know. Maybe if you get in a fight with a grizzly bear and you need to grab something to defend yourself with, and I don't know, whatever. Anyways, the one thing I don't like about this saw is this tightener here is kind of an all-in-one bar clamp and tightener all in one, and it doesn't give you any flexibility. Like I don't like my chains this tight. I like them quite a bit looser where they spin freely. And it's a real shame that the creators of this thing haven't allowed I just can't move that chain, and it's too bad, because I'm just gonna wear your stuff out. And hey guys, take it from me, don't buy that bar and chain oil. You know, the stuff that comes in the gallon that says bar and chain oil on it? Don't buy it. It's terrible. Just use regular motor oil. Put some regular motor oil in your reservoir, your chain, your bar, everything's gonna thank you. It's gonna run better. Always keep your chain sharp. Sharpen it several times a day. Maybe I'll make a video on the proper way to do that. I'm 3rd generation logger. My daddy taught me when I was just a kid how to sharpen a chainsaw. And that chainsaw is so sharp, when you can get it sharp enough where you just barely touch the wood and it feels like it's pulling you into the piece of wood, then it's sharp enough. But if you got to sit there and that's another good way to heat your chain up, heat your bar up. You're gonna screw up your sprockets. It's not gonna work well. Keep a nice sharp chain, your bar and your chain. Keep good oil in your reservoir. Everything's gonna last forever. Take my word for it. So, what do I think of this thing? I love it. This sucker, I'm telling you what, this got some good engineering behind it. So when you load this thing for the first time, and every time thereafter, you just take a piece of twine that's maybe 10 feet long, right? Or 8 feet long, and you stick it through the hole. It comes out this other side, and you pull it to where it's even, right? And then you just hit this little button, and it's got to have a battery in it, and it just winds it right up in there. And of course, this is an automatic feeder, and it lets it out accordingly. And so anyway, it's variable speed control, which I like, and which you sort of need with power, or with the battery weed eater. And the reason being, the secret to getting longevity out of your battery on this is you just keep it on low power when you don't need full power. Just don't crank it down like you do a gas weed eater and just give like full blast like all the time. You just sort of, there's low power right there. You're gonna give about twice the battery life by doing that. My impression of the saw, it's kind of a hobby thing. If I used to use a saw several times a day, every single day. This would have been perfect. Instead of having to crank on that thing, instead of having to mix oil with your gas and keep that with you, and the bar and chain oil in your file, and you have this little kit, and it's just greasy and it's dirty, and you smell like saw mix everywhere you go. And just the convenience of just this battery saw is unbelievable. I mean, it starts up, you just pull a trigger, right, and it goes. And it's great for just little small projects, for trees, for around the house, for framing. Oh my gosh, framing. This thing's sick, dude. You need to cut a beam, You need to cut a pocket, you need to cut a mortise, no problem. If you're halfway decent with a chainsaw. Secret with chainsaws, always a secret with chainsaws, keep your chain sharp. If your chain's not sharp, you're going to be burning up sprockets, you're going to be burning up bars, you're going to wear unevenly down here. Keep motor oil in the reservoir, not the bar and chain oil. That stuff is terrible for your saw. I would recommend both. I would give the chainsaw about maybe a 7 on the rating. I'd give this thing about an 8, 8.5. They both lose about a point with me for the price of the batteries. Once they start getting those batteries down a little bit cheaper, I'm going to start loving on those things. They look kind of cheap and cheesy. You know, they don't have that like real durable. Let me give you an example. I don't know. It's just something about certain tools. They just look durable and meaty. This doesn't have that look. I mean, just a little bit more time on the design, they got it. But I don't care about looks. I care about performance. Well, I do care a little bit about looks. I mean, you want to look good on the job, right? You don't want to look like a retard. But anyways, yeah, if you guys like my videos, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. That would help me out tremendously. And thanks a lot, guys. And you guys have a great new year. We'll see you on the next video.